Hi, this is John and Jackie from OpenLove101.com, and we're here today to talk to you about jealousy and how we communicate about it and get through it.
Yeah, it's a tough subject.
It is, but we've talked about it and we feel as though it's really important for couples to communicate about those feelings they're having. It's difficult, I think, to really understand what the feeling of jealousy is. So let's cover that first. Is jealousy even really an emotion?
It seems like from what I have read and studied is that jealousy really isn't an emotion. It's more of an umbrella of emotions, but it in and of itself is not. What usually ends up happening is we will say, oh, that just makes me so jealous. Mm-hmm. When in reality, it's either creating anger or fear, one of those emotions. And because it's creating that within us, our fight or flight type of response is to protect ourselves from it. So then we end up lashing out at our partner for bringing those feelings within us to the surface.
Right.
So it creates a vulnerability then to go to your partner to say, this is a feeling that I'm having when this is taking place. Because we're already maybe in the midst of a feeling of protection. So then to be vulnerable goes against where we are at that moment. And so that's one of the things that I think we've learned to do.
And then that's something, for me, that's difficult to do. It has been in our relationship, and in any other relationship I've been in, is to allow you to feel those feelings without trying to force you to talk about it right then and there. I want it fixed right now. That's my normal reaction to something. If you say, I'm really glad you had a good time, but it's bothering me inside. I want to know why right now it bothers you so we can talk about it. And with you prefer to have a little time, like overnight, to think it through, and then we have a conversation about it. It always ends up being a great conversation.
Well, I think before when we've gone through it, because I've seen the stages that we've grown through being able to communicate about this jealousy topic is, first of all, we may try something, not really sure how either one of us are feeling about it. We might be so engrossed in the newness of it that we're okay. And then it happens again, and it maybe creates a feeling with me, for instance, that maybe I'm not sure if I'm okay with it. I don't want to be jealous. I want you to go and do things. I want you to be happy. I want to be happy for you. And so then to have a feeling that goes against what it is that I'm wanting you to have can bother me. I can start to feel like I'm not processing it correctly. And your response is that you won't do it anymore, which to me it's important that we continue to move forward with whatever that feeling is, even if I feel like it's uncomfortable, because how am I going to ever pinpoint what it is to know if it's actually a fear that I'm having that's concrete, or if it's a fear I have because I've created it out of some insecurity. So I know the last time that you had a date and I stayed home, that was always kind of an issue for me because I wasn't sure where I fit in within that triad. Mm-hmm. And so I would always try to pull myself back from it. Well, when I would do that, it created a separateness from you. And so then it was really hard for me to feel happy about what you were doing because I wasn't letting myself be involved in it. So the last time that you went and did that, and I had the opportunity to be home, I really took a look at what that jealous feeling was. And it's so important. I think we stop ourselves a lot of times from doing that because the fear of going through it is greater than actually going through it. And for me, taking scenarios, what was it that I was jealous about? Was I jealous that he was out on the date? Well, no, because we spend an enormous amount of time together. So it wasn't that I was feeling any kind of tipping of the scales in the time that we spend together.
Yeah, it wasn't a jealousy of me not spending time with you. We spent a lot of time together.
So we spend a lot of time. So it wasn't that. Okay, was I upset that you actually had scheduled a date?
Without discussing with you the day before or something.
Yeah, well, it was kind of planned late in regards to would I have wanted to go out on a date with you? Again, no, we spend an enormous amount of time together. We have dates. Would I have gone on a date that night with you, that specific night? No, probably not, because I was already in for the evening. Why not take advantage of my time that I had to spend it? Was I upset that I was missing out on the event? And I remember this specifically. I remember thinking, well, what makes me think I'm missing out on the event?
Mm-hmm.
I may be home, but I know that when you get home, we're going to get to share in that. So those are just some examples of working through that jealousy. Going ahead and seeing what are we thinking those fears are. And then talking about them. Even if it's to yourself, to get through it, because then I know by the time you got home, I was happy to see you. I didn't feel any of those jealous feelings.
No, it turned out to be a great experience when I got home that night. So.
It did, and so learning to be happy, learning to have that compersion for each other. I got to really be happy for you and your experience, and understand and see the benefit of it.
And compersion, these are new people we're talking to, they may not know that word. What does it mean?
Well, a lot of people will say it's the opposite of jealousy. It's instead of taking away from the experience by interjecting our fears, we try to see that experience as something positive, that it's enriching, it's enhancing, it's loving, it's trying to envelop ourselves in those types of feelings instead of the others.
Feeling good about what someone we care about, feeling good about what they're doing.
Right. Sharing in that.
Yes. Compersion could be with me going paragliding and sharing that experience with you, telling you about it later, and you being really happy for me that I had such a great time paragliding.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I guess the important thing in closing with jealousy is to always have the conversation, whether it's with your partner or yourself. If you're having those feelings, don't be afraid of them. It's not an end all. It can be a great beginning to something.
Yeah, and those feelings are, if you're raised that way to think that jealousy is something that's it happens to everybody, that's going to be, if you've been raised that way for a long time, those feelings are going to come out.
Yeah,
so,
and it's okay.
Yes.
It's an opportunity. It's your mind's way of saying, hey, this is something that you might need to touch on, take a look at.
And it will build a strong foundation for you and your partner. So we'd really like to thank you for watching our video on jealousy today. And if you want to read more about it, Jackie has a written blog that touches upon this subject even further. Be sure and subscribe to OpenLove101.com, and we'll send you updates when we put those blogs out. Thanks again. See you guys later.
See ya.